So good morning everyone. My name is Clar Julian Bautista, the first reporting of Group 2, and I'm going to discuss about the unpacking the self. So what is unpacking the self? Unpacking the self refers to the gradual unfolding of the self in which the six aspects of the self develop in an integrated and healthy manner. As the self continues to interact with its environment, it gets various feedback that may affect its self-knowledge, self-image, and self-concept. So Unit 1 discuss the self from the sociological, anthropological, and psychological perspective. It also compare the Oriental and Western concepts of the self. The discussion help you understand the self and answer questions like who am I and what is a human person, etc. The learning outcomes in our topic at the end of the unit, the students shall have explored the different aspects of the self and identity, demonstrated critical reflective thought in integrating the various aspects of self and identity, discussed the impact of the different forces and institutions on the development of self, and examine oneself against the different dimensions of self as discussed in class. So, Chapter 1, the physical self. Learning outcomes. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to explore the different aspects of physical self, explain the importance of physical self and its development, compare self-identity, self-image, self-concept, and self-esteem, discuss in detail the factors that influence the development of physical self, and assess himself or herself against the different aspects of the physical self. Now, the introduction. This lesson highlights the physical self, one of the dimensions of self, by providing a comprehensive discussion to address the learning outcomes given above. And now I'm going to discuss about the aspect of physical self. As you intently examine the details of yourself, you notice the color of your hair, skin, the skin tone, your body figure, your height, and many other features. And all this make up your personal appearance or personal characteristic. Only you have these particular features and no one else but you, and you are identified as you because of them. They are unique to you only and no other. They make different from all others. So let me ask you, within a day, how many times do you stand before a mirror and ask yourself, am I beautiful? Am I satisfied with how I look? Then you stare again and meticulously examine the image before you, front, side, and back. Did you like it? So the image you are gazing at the mirror is your physical self, the body, the concrete and tangible part of yourself that can be directly seen and examined. So if you stare in the mirror, you will see yourself, you will see your face, your appearance, and you will examine yourself. Next, our physical self is the first aspect that is noticed in a person. As such, many would like to enhance their physical appearance, their God-given looks, and that is commendable. They are entitled to that. However, beyond the looks, we also need to respect and pay particular attention to our whole body and being. It is God's gift to us with all its natural features, right? So in the story of creation, God himself marveled at the goodness and beauty of his creation. And to man, whom he created last, was given the authority to subdue the earth. For all that God has given us, we manifest our gratitude and respect to God's work by preserving, and sustaining continually all these gifts through proper care of ourselves and are including the right attitude. So as we mature, our idea of what is good and beautiful changes as we interact with our surrounding, with what we see in others and what we observe in Western culture. We tend to compare ourselves with others, most particularly in style and fashion. Now we are more inclined to imitate others, and we have the tendency to prefer imported products over the locally made ones. Diba? So as you can see in our community, in our environment, maraming nagbabago, maraming maraming nai-influence. It's because sa mga generation natin, kagaya ng mga style, mga fashion, which is na nakukuha natin sa mga YouTube or sa mga artists like that. So tinatend natin na i-compare yung sarili natin sa iba. And sa pagko-compare natin is gusto din natin yung fashion nila. Ganon. Standard for what is good and beautiful has also changed, partly because of the influence of Western culture. To many, a beautiful woman has a long nose, lighter, fairer skin, blonde and colored hair, and slim body figure, and other features commonly seen among Western women. Diba? So, our preference for the mestiza type, our standard of beauty and goodness, is further elevated by the flooding of beauty products and the rising of beauty salons, gyms for physical fitness, and sometimes, and to a certain extent, of technology. Like what I said, 'di ba, maraming influence na mga kagaya natin with mga young people na influence tayo sa mga western culture dahil sa kanilang mga products, dahil sa kanilang mga fashion style. So for us is mas gusto nating abutin yung ganong yung pagiging maputi, yung pagkakaroon ng mahabang ilong, 'di ba? So yun yung nai-influence sa atin ng mga western culture or mga western women. So speaking of technology, Monica Lyons and Vicky Velo's names have become bywords in the beauty of industry. Bellows billboards, for example, are covered with the pictures of exquisitely beautiful and handsome, well-carved and muscled models. And their message, come, invest, and we will create a new beautiful you. So of course, many submit themselves to enhancement procedures. Diba? Today, undergoing the procedures, especially when performed by famous names in the industry, has become a status symbol. While there is nothing wrong with enhancing one's appearance, diba? So, sa mga nakikita natin ngayon is maraming mga products or even nag-a-undergo ng mga procedures para lang yung ma-achieve nila yung beauty na gusto nila. And nakaka-influence yun, nakakapag-influence yung mga artista, yung mga matataas yung names sa industry, 'di ba, yung mga famous. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with enhancing one's appearance. And the alterations in the physical self will have life altering consequences in the personality of the person, and usually these consequences are negative. So if you take that you want to become a beautiful, you want to enhance your appearance, also there's also negative or consequences na mga negative na nangyayari sa ibang tao. Nakadepende na lang yan sa mga products or sa mga doctors na mga pinapagawa nila. And now, these are the following practices popular among many health enthusiasts in keeping themselves physically fit, youthful, and naturally glowing. So, one, improve sleeping habit. As the saying goes, early to bed, early to rise makes one health, wealthy, and wise. So, sleeping early makes one healthier, wrinkle-free, more active, able to maintain a positive disposition, and more product. So, if you improve your sleeping habit, then you will get the beauty that you want. Number 2, observe correct eating habit. Valuable suggestions are eat the right food, avoid junk foods, and soda. So this practice is proven to be good in attaining healthy skin, ideal body weight, and sustained youthfulness. Diba? Observe correcting eating habit. But in our generation today, we want to eat street foods, junk foods, because that's what we want to ourselves. But if you want to prove your body, your healthy skin, and you want to gain weight, then observe correct eating habit. So you should eat right food like vegetables, fruits. 3. Do regular exercise. Regular toning of the muscles provides the stamina, energy, and strength and keeps one physical fit and well shaped. So, um, it helps in achieving a healthy core and correct waistline. So, if you want to have a curved body, you want to have a waistline, or you want to have a perfect body, all you need to do is do regular exercise. 4. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. Sustaining a healthy lifestyle requires discipline in terms of food intake and other habits. For example, doing away with drinking and smoking is a prevention against illnesses and diseases. Eating good food contributes to having a strong immune system, like preference for fresh vegetables and fruits rather than canned foods and processed meat products. So if you want to maintain a healthy lifestyle, then you should eat vegetables and fruits, then avoid eating canned foods or mga processed meat products. 5. Practice right hygiene. Taking a bath daily keeps the skin clean and healthy. It adds glow to the skin. So, applying body lotion, preferably one that has a higher SPF or dermatested, protects yourself from the radiation of the sun. Apply a good quality of body deodorant. Cup this with a dab and favorite scent. So if you want to have uh, perfect skin, you should practice do a right hygiene by applying your lotion na nakaano naman na napaderma tested mo sa doktor na kinuha mo para naman to protect yourselves from the radiation of the sun. And lastly, 6. Feel confident. Looking good and feeling clean inside and out and smelling good daily will make you feel naturally beauty proud of yourself. So if you see yourself that you are good, and you have a natural beauty, then you have a confidence in yourself, so should be proud. As part of the natural course of nature, physical change become evident at the onset of puberty. During this period, some changes noticed among the boys are their voice gets deeper, hair starts to show on their faces. This develops into mustache as they progress into adulthood. So at this period, they experience rapid growth in a span of 2 to 3 years. This is also referred to as growth spurt. Also, during this period, they attain body maturity when they experience ejaculation. On the other hand, maturity of the body among the girls is attained when girls experience their first menstruation. It is at this age when they become capable of reproduction. So as you notice, when we grow, there's also changes in our physical body. Like in voice, they will get Adam's apple and their voice will getting deeper. And for girls, they will experience menstruation. More noticeable changes occur when the individual reaches adolescence, the transition between childhood and adulthood. This period is divided into 3 stages, described as follows: early adolescence stage is between 11 to 14 years old. So 11 to 14 years old, it has been observed that during this period, adolescents would rather tell their stories to their peers rather than to their family. So as you can see, if you are 11 to 14 years old, all you want to do is to play and to tell your story to everyone, even your friends, and you're not capable to tell your stories in your parents or in your family.
Next is the middle adolescence stage is between 15 to 17 years old. So 15 to 11 years old, when the children demonstrate consistency to achieve their goals in life. So to 15 to 17 years old, they will the children will demonstrate consistency to achieve their goals in life. For them is, if they reach that age, they all want to achieve their goals in their life. So in the late adolescent stage, between 18 to 24 years old, they become more concerned of others rather than mainly of themselves. So as you notice, when we grow on the age of 18 to 24 years old, you are more concerned of others rather than yourself, 'di ba? As you can see, and we will call that social-centric, na pagiging selfless, because you are concerned to the other people than yourself. Na kahit um sometimes is kailangan mo yung sarili mo, pero mas inuuna mo pa yung ibang tao. That's why if you grow at between age 18 to 24 years old, yun yung mai-experience mo. So related to the study of the self, it is during the late adolescence stage when children notice further the changes in their physical self. They become more conscious of how they look rather than the other aspect of the self. Sometimes they are able to adapt to the changes, but there are others who find these changes difficult to accept. And so we discussed earlier that the changes in the self are affected by the surrounding. Thus, their perception of themselves is not only affected by these changes in their body, but also by what people say about them, the culture and the environment where they grew up. 'Di ba? Sanabi ko kanina na as we grow, there's changes in our life, and that changes is whether naka-influence yung society, yung culture sa buhay natin, yung environmental na yung environment natin sa mga nakikita natin, yun talaga yung magiging changes sa self natin because of our surroundings. But because of those factors, children at this period would need guidance from their significant others to realize that they should not only be concerned of their physical self, as they should value a much higher goal that lasts, and that is the formation of their positive self-identity, self-image, self-concept, and self-esteem. Diba? So, even though we keep growing, nag-change tayo kapag habang tayo lumalaki, pero need pa din natin ng guidance sa mga magulang natin or yung sa mga tao na mas matanda sa atin. Kasi yung physical self natin na kabang nag-grow tayo is marami tayong consciousness sa sarili natin, and marami tayong iniisip kung ano pa ba yung kulang sa sarili natin. And for that, na kailangan natin ng guide ng mga magulang natin. So, magiging positive tayo sa self natin, sa self-identity, sa self-image, and sa self-concept, and of course, sa self-esteem ng ating sarili. For discussion, unpacking the self refers to the gradual unfolding of the self in which the 6 aspects of the self develop in an integrated and healthy. So, as a student, how do you think you can gain a deeper understanding of the concept of self? So, for me, as a student, as the self continues to interact with its environment, it gets various feedback that may affect its self-knowledge, its self-image, and self-concept. Diba? So, yung pagiging understanding natin sa sarili natin is as we grow, mas nakikilala natin yung ating self dahil sa mga nare-realize natin sa mga comments or sa mga or mismong na-discover natin sa ating sarili. So number 2, within the day, how many times do you stand before a mirror and ask yourself, am I beautiful? Am I satisfied with how I look? Then you stare again, meticulously examine the image before you, front, side, and back. Did you like what you saw? So within the day, not every day, but sometimes I intently to face the mirror and stare my face. But as you extently examine the detail of yourself, you notice the color of your hair, the skin tone, your body figure, your height, and many other features. So all these make up your personal appearance or personal characteristics. So only you have these particular features and no one else but you. You are identified as you because of them. And you are unique. You are unique. You are, uh, wala kang kaparehas. Ganun, wala kang kaparehas dahil may iba't iba tayong unique sa ating life. Number 3. So as we mature, our idea of what is good and beautiful changes as we interact with our surroundings. So as a person, how do you describe the standard of good and beautiful? So today in our generation, our standard for what is good and beautiful has also changed, partly because of the influence of Western culture. For them, too many says a beautiful woman has a long nose, lighter, fairer skin, blonde or colored hair, and slim body figure, and other features commonly seen among Western women. So, for them, they will describe the good and beautiful as they see the Western culture na mataas yung ilong, lighter yung skin, fairer yung skin, blonde, diba? Yung slim yung body. But so as a person, how do I describe the standard of good people? So for me, I will describe a good and beautiful the way I see and know their inside, not outside, because we will see the good and beautiful person out in inside of themselves, not in outside, because in our appearance, our beauty will going to disappear someday, but our beautiful yung pagiging ano natin, mabait, ganun, yung pagiging good natin, mabait yung mapagalang, ganun. So maglalas yan, pero yung appearance natin outside is mafe-fade lang din yan as we grow old. But as we discussed earlier, wala namang hadlang, ganun. Wala namang hindi naman dapat tayo mang-judge sa kung ano man yung nakikita ng ibang tao, kung paano nila i-describe yung beautiful. Then next, we discussed earlier that the changes in the self are affected by surroundings. Thus, their perception of themselves is not only affected by this or changes in their body. Why? So what people say about them, the culture and the environment where they grew up, they become more conscious of how they look rather than the other aspects of the self. Sometimes they are able to adapt to the changes, but there are others who find these changes difficult to accept, 'di ba? So, yung mga perception natin sa mga sarili natin is nakakaapekto din kung paano natin i-change yung ating sarili, 'di ba? Also, yung mga sinasabi ng ibang tao about sa self natin is naa-adapt natin na mag-change kung paano man yung nakikita ng ibang tao at kung paano natin nafe-feel na we need to change ourselves into good and beautiful, 'di ba? So sometimes it's hard to accept sa mga changes na nangyayari sa buhay natin, but wala tayong magagawa kasi habang tayo ay tumatanda, maraming nag-change sa life natin. This time, Number one, it refers to the gradual unfolding of the self, in which the six aspects of the self develop in an integrated and healthy manner. Answer is unpacking the self. Number two, what is the first aspect that is noted in a person? The answer, our physical self. Number three, what are the six practices of physical fit, youthful, and naturally growing? First, improve sleeping beauty. Second, observe correct eating habit. Third, do regular exercise. Fourth, maintain a healthy lifestyle. Fifth, practice right hygiene. And sixth, feel confident. Number four, our standard for what is blank and blank has also changed, partly because of the influence of Western culture. So, our answer that is good and beautiful. In what year of adolescence stage that they would rather tell the stories to their peers rather than to their family? It is between 14 to 11 years old. So that's all my report. Thank you for listening and God bless.